So this is our equipment room. So what happens is the officers, cars are parked out right through that door, so if they would leave roll call, they would come here. They would get their equipment for the day, and then they would go out to the car, and I'll show you some of the equipment that we issue to the officers. So every officer goes to the street, they're assigned a taser. Every officer's, there's 8 beats, they're all assigned beat phones. So the phones are here, these are extras that we give them. They take a beat bag with them. We have 2 sets of beat bags, so they're not standing around waiting for the other officer, on like a day shift officer would have to come in. These are the body cameras. These are the new body camera 4s that we just received.
So the body cams are they're required by the Safety Act, but we actually approved them and put them on before the Safety Act was put in place. And so we, because at the end of the day, it helps us basically convict criminals. It also is a good record for when people file complaints against our officers, because 99% of the time plus, the body cameras exonerate our officers from what actually happened.
Hi, Chief. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Mayor.
How's it going?
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Glenn Jelly and Ron Aert, they're in charge of our evidence here, and this is about as far as we're going to go. It's all secured. We don't go past this point. Everything's documented, who comes in and who goes in and who leaves.
We're running, you can look in here, we're running out of space. And so actually our Public Works director came up with we were looking at using one of our other storage places for some space because we have to keep this evidence for some of it forever. Thanks, guys.
Coming off the street, if they had evidence to process, this is an area that they would come in and do that. Years ago, everything had to be handwritten on cards. Now everything's digitized to where they could put it in the computer themselves. It goes to evidence. They package the evidence, and then they would drop it in these evidence vaults here. Close that, and we turn this knob. They would push that. That's locked, so you can't get into it. And on the other side, where you saw Glenn and Ron, they would access it from a secure point.
So this is the lockup, and you can see the chief just put away his weapon. You can't bring anything in the lockup.
No weapons are allowed in the lockup. Secure area, you have to go through a double door in order to get in. The second door will not open unless the first door is closed. This is our lockup area. We first start in the sally port. So the officer would pull in the secure area with their squad car. We close all the doors. They bring them through here. They would lock up. We have more lock boxes again here. They would lock up their weapon. They would bring them into our lockup area here. They would have the offender stand on this line, where they would make sure they weren't another pat down, make sure for weapons, and make sure that they weren't carrying anything. Once they completed that, there's a second procedure that's now incorporated, where they would walk through a metal detector to make sure that they don't have any weapons hidden. And then after that, then they would have them sit on the bench here, and we would process them accordingly. This is our male side cells. We have 8 cells on the male side, and then 1 shower. And these are, again, everything's videoed to make sure that everybody's acting properly and safe inside there.
And it's relatively rare for us to have more than 1 or 2 people.
Yeah, we rarely use 8 cells. It's usually 1, 2, or 3 that are here, and majority of them are thefts, probably. This is our simulator room, where officers can come in here and do scenario-based training. And what it does is it projects a scenario onto the wall, and they're real-life scenarios to where if it was a domestic or an active shooter, they're actually able to train with it. We're working on getting another scenario training system at the training facility.
You know, what's the positives of having that training facility relative to what we have now for our training ability?
So it's great to have it for the department. You know, if we have officers that go off on injury or become pregnant and they need to go and get certified, we have it here now in town where they can go do their firearms training. We can do on-site scenario-based training where we can take officers if we have multiple officers on the street, we can take them over there and train them at this facility. We can do defensive tactics training at our own facility. If someone needs additional training, we have that capability now. Yeah, this facility will be great for the officers, and you know, as a resident, I would want somebody who's trained like our officers to be responding.
And thanks to Madison for allowing us to go over there and use their range so that we could keep our guys qualified and current.
We have a great relationship with a lot of surrounding departments that have allowed us to use their range while ours is being completed and our other range was on a commission. So that's what's great, is we have great relationships with surrounding agencies, and they allow us to do that. This is our code enforcement. We have 3 full-time code enforcement officers. They are not here. They're out on the street working, so, which is a good thing.
And when I started as mayor, we had 1 code enforcement officer. Now we have 3.
Yeah. Education and compliance, that's what we're looking for. And we have a 311 system, so if you see something, 311, and code enforcement officers get it, and we'll address it immediately.
Yeah, and when we get a complaint, we get on it right away.
This is our dispatch center.
This is where the work gets done.
5 dispatch stations. We have 2 dispatchers that are constantly working. One, we dispatch from Orland Park. When we've had very busy incidents, we will call in extra dispatchers. We have the capability of, like I said, we're able to put 5 on to answer calls. And if it gets real busy, we have an alternate site that we can add an additional 2.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time to show us all of this.
Appreciate you coming.
Thanks, Chief, for taking your time.
Thank you.